Hello there and welcome to a brand new season of Legends of Change. I'm Ashwin Berry. For those of you who need a reminder, this is the show where we bring you ordinary Namibians doing extraordinary things in spite of their circumstances. Welcome to the first episode. Our first guest for the season was diagnosed with polio at the tender age of 4 and has been in a wheelchair since. However, this has not stopped him from being an active and productive member of society. This is Andrew's story.
It was really hard to accept the way I am. Why I wanted to commit suicide is that when I saw young boys at my age playing football, running, jumping, doing things that I couldn't do, that pain almost took my life. But after I made peace, I came to a stage and understand I'm not disabled. I can still do more better things than them. We become.
Andrew Ihinda was born in Angola in 1990. Together with his parents, he moved to Namibia in 1992. A year later, something happened that would change his life forever.
I got polio when I was 3 years old. My parents used to tell me it's because of the war. People were fighting back then, and then they didn't have time to take me for injections. So I missed one injection, which caused my legs to deform. When I was in school, I took part in organizations like Blue Cross and Staff for Life. Those organizations were telling people, young ones, to study very hard, teaching us about drugs and alcohol, teenage pregnancy and all that. So what I have understood is that they used me as a tool to motivate other learners. I was a peer educator. Peer educator means I'm on the same age with them. I can talk to them and they can easily understand me. What I understand is that when they see a guy on a wheelchair on the stage talking to millions of people, they would understand. So that made me to talk more, to build my self-confidence, and to say, I can change somebody's life. Where I am now, I'm inspiration to everyone that I come across with. When I was in grade 12, that's where life started. My principal used to tell me life after grade 12 was tough. I understood. I didn't, because I was not yet done with grade 12. So I asked myself a question. What if I fail grade 12? Which company is going to employ me? Because obviously when I come with my CV there, they look at me on the wheelchair, they will say, no, we don't have vacancies. Because otherwise, if he could walk, we could give him to pack, to push trolley. But just when they look at me, they could say, there's no job. So I told myself, I have to study very hard. Whatever points I get to further my study, whatever job I get in future, it's God's will. He knows where I am. The Bible says, He knew me before I was born. I was formed in my mother's womb. So He knew me that I'm going to become this and this and this.
Despite the many challenges, Andrew never allowed his condition to put him down. After high school, he did not obtain enough points to apply for varsity, and so he started looking for a job.
I didn't go to varsity. What I did is after grade 12, immediately when I leave school, I had a course. I was doing an IT course somewhere at Windhoek West. Yeah, and then because I told myself, what career should I take after grade 12? I'm seated, I'm on a wheelchair. Obviously what I need to do is do with computers. That is a light duty that I can do with my hands and my brain. So after grade 12, I was doing that. So I came to work to get more knowledge in computer. And then after I completed grade 12, it was not successful. The points were not enough for me to go to UNAM. So I felt like a disappointment, you understand? So I said, I have to look for a job anywhere. So I started looking for a job until I was employed. My first job was at Game. I was a salesman because I speak Portuguese. So I was assisting to translate for Angolians. That's how the boss also liked me. I'm flexible, I'm not lazy, I work long hours. I was pushing trolleys of the customers out. It was not just for myself, but it was like to motivate customers. When they see somebody on the wheelchair working, they appreciate that. They say, this person, it's a true motivating to everyone, because people like us are mostly in streets begging, in the shops, on the door, begging for $1. But I told myself, I'm gonna use what God has left me with.
The reason why I bought this car, it's not because of showing off to my friends or anybody else. This is just to make my life easier, because I had tough times whereby I have to get a taxi to go to work. You have to stand at the road for like 2 hours in order for a good Samaritan to get you in his car or taxi. So I was always late. So I decided to save up and have this car in order to maintain my own time and get where I want to go anytime I feel like.
Morning.
Morning, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
I'm good.
Sorry, man, I got my guys filming me.
All right.
What I do now, I work for an orthopedic surgeon called Dr. Alex van der Horst. He's a spine and neck surgeon in Roman Catholic. What I do for him is like a PA. I do bookings for him. I control his schedule. I do claims for medical aid, because when a patient is booked for operation, I need to ask for medical authorization for the medical aid to pay the bills of the operation. Sometimes we do consult in other towns, and I really enjoy my job. I'm comfortable here.
Andreas is a remarkable guy. He's a young man with serious disabilities. He developed poliomyelitis, and since the age of 4 or 5 he's been in a wheelchair and has not had it very easy. And he's been jumping between jobs, and I met him the one day in a shopping store where he was working for a big company in a job which he didn't really enjoy. And we started talking, and I said to him, you know, you're working so hard, you're disabled, you could be on a grant sitting at home doing nothing. Why are you working? And he says he loves work, he loves people, and he wants to study. And we just started talking about that. And then I said to him, come and work for me.
Witness Spine, good morning. Yes, good morning. How are you doing? I'm good. How can I help?
He was very excited, and he knew nothing about private practice, but gradually he learns very fast. He's very bright, and he's very keen to learn, and the patients love him. So he is my secretary, and he books my diaries. He deals with patient problems. He is very sensitive. He listens to the patients. He's very caring. And he also warns me about difficult patients. He says, you know, you must see this one quickly, this one is very sick. So he's definitely an asset. And I see a lot of patients that are disabled, and they just want to sit in a wheelchair all day and do nothing. and he's decided he's going to get busy living, and a guy like that I want to support. And we are busy helping him, to build a new house. We are busy helping to study further, and he's part of our team, and we enjoy him, and he is a good part of the team.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. How can I help you?
Andrew is very energetic. Nothing holds him back. If he gets a task to do, he completes it. There's so many people out there sitting at robots and stuff, begging for money and stuff. The first time when doctor told me about Andrew and that he wants to employ Andrew, I thought, oh wow. Because, I wanted someone who could help me in the office to do things, And I thought, okay, how will this work? But after the first week, he's been here for quite a few months now, I think almost a year now, and we're still going strong.
He's a big inspiration to people. The patients are very impressed that we employ someone like him. There's nothing wrong with his head, there's nothing wrong with his hands, and there's nothing wrong with his heart. He's got legs that don't work, but with all his disabilities still, he's at work every morning, he's clean, he is fresh, he is ready for work, nothing is a problem. And I think he's an example to anybody who's disabled that life can go on. So you can decide I'm disabled and decide you don't want to live anymore or be depressed, or you can decide I'm going to make something of my life, and he's really made that. And someone like that who from his out of his own wants to improve his situation, I'm prepared to reward with job opportunities, further studying, a better quality of life. And I think with our practice he's going to grow, and we look forward to what he develops into.
My challenges daily is when I want to visit offices, Sometimes you get a high building, you understand? There's no elevators, there's only stairs. And some of us, we want to get to the office to do our paperwork. I can't send someone. I want to be independent. As you saw me, I drive my own car. The reason why is because I don't want to depend on someone. My father was there the days of school years, during my childhood, but this time I want to be independent. I want to do everything on my own. Taxi drivers, that's the challenge I have. Sometimes when my car is at the mechanic, I need to stand at the road for like an hour, just trying to stop a taxi to get me to work. When they look at you on a wheelchair, they just drive by, they shake their head. That pain, that's the only challenge I have. But as I got that car, I don't have any problems.
In his free time, Andrew spends time with his family and sometimes makes time to visit schools to give motivational talks to young boys and girls.
What inspires me is just to be focused. That's the most important item. And I watch motivation stories, not just locally, but also abroad. There is a guy called Nick Vujicic. He's an American guy. He was born without legs, without arms and legs. That guy has a family. He's married to a beautiful wife. He has a kid. He travels all over the world. That guy made me not to give up, because when I look at myself, I have my hands, I have my legs. I don't mind walking. I can push. So I shed tears the day I watch these videos. That mostly make me to go on with life. And I used to go to different schools just to teach them a bit. I was invited to Emmanuel Shifidi. This year, academic year, there's a guy on a wheelchair, because I attended there as well. The principal called me just to go there and welcome him because he might feel alone. He's the only guy in a wheelchair. And among all the guys that are just walking, it will be difficult for him. And he's grade 8, a small boy. So I went there, I motivated him. I took all the learners in the hall, I spoke to them. They made peace with him. The first day I was at school in grade 8, I remember the guys telling me, no, there's not enough roads for you to drive with your car. But I was like, yeah, no problem, I'm fast. You guys are slow. That's just to, you know, cut the argument.
Thank you, Andrew, for sharing your story with us and showing us once again that disability is indeed not inability. If you know someone like Andrew, feel free to get a hold of us on our Facebook page, Legends of Change. From me, Ashwin Bedi, this season I'll be leaving you with this thought: change is inevitable. Embrace it.